Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good today. Jumping on just with my smartphone today, nothing fancy, no fancy editing, to talk to you about something that is very personal to me, and I have a feeling you might be struggling with as well. Um, and it's not the easiest thing for me to talk about, honestly, but I wanted to speak to it because I've heard this from a lot of coaches, and it's oftentimes a reason that coaches don't make progress in their business or hold themselves back, basically. And so you can probably relate, but personally, I got into health coaching because of my own health issues, right? Had I not experienced my own personal health issues, I don't actually think I would have ended up in alternative health and wellness, to be honest. And yeah, it all started like when health finally or first came on sort of my radar. It was in my early 20s. And, I'd always had a little bit of trouble with some acne, some hormonal acne. Looking back, nothing crazy, but at the time I thought it was terrible, right? I wanted to be perfect. I wanted perfect skin. And I would get kind of the odd breakout. And I don't think anyone really noticed but me, but I was super self-conscious about it. And so I ended up asking my doctor for a birth control pill that would clear my skin. And when I took this birth control pill, the opposite actually happened. It actually gave me acne, and it actually gave me a lot of other things as well. So I have kind of a darker skin tone. I have Italian heritage. So I naturally tan very well. I have a little bit of a darker skin tone. And after I took this birth control pill, like my skin just went white. It's like I lost all pigment in my skin. I just was pale. And I started breaking out in this cystic acne, which I really had never had, like all over the left side of my face. So kind of all in this area. It was awful. And honestly, my skin really hasn't been the same since. And even to this day, I do still struggle a little bit with breakouts that the types of breakouts that I've been getting since I took that birth control. And I didn't even take it for that long, but it like irreversibly changed my skin. And after that, I started pursuing alternative health stuff, right? Because I just, I wasn't really getting what I needed from conventional medicine. And I just truly believed that it wasn't just genetic or it wasn't just normal. I was like, all these other people have clear skin, like why can't I? So that's kind of what sent me down the rabbit hole of alternative and natural health. It was always based around my skin, and having acne for the amount of years that I did was really hard. It really affected my self-esteem. I became a master of like avoiding lights. Like I would always find my way to the darkest corner of the room because that's where I felt safe. I felt like people couldn't see my skin. And I wore a lot of makeup, and I ultimately drank a lot and partied a lot because when I was drinking, I had confidence and I wasn't thinking about it. But I was incredibly self-conscious about it, and I cried about it, and I would hide in my house over it when my skin really flared up. I didn't even want to leave my house. It was really difficult. And that was really just the beginning for me, unfortunately, because in my late 20s, I ended up with some sort of chronic illness. And it doesn't really have a name. And I think that's true for a lot of us. What ends up making us sick doesn't necessarily have a name. It's not necessarily a diagnosis. And that's where a lot of us get stuck, right? Because we don't really know what's wrong with it. It doesn't have a name. And when it doesn't have a name, it's really hard to find answers for it. And, in my 20s, and this might ring true for you too. Like I partied a lot, I was having fun. But I had really low self-esteem. I didn't respect myself. I was in a lot of bad relationships with men who didn't respect me because I didn't respect myself. And I, partied and drank and tried to, have lots of friends and hang out with people to kind of numb out and not actually face it. And then in my mid-20s, and I've told this story before, I had a big fall skiing, and I ended up tearing my ACL in my knee, and I needed reconstructive surgery, which was a big deal because I was a skier. So much of my identity was tied up in being a skier. I was, had these aspirations of being a professional skier, and then on top of it, I was, my job was in forestry, so I was tromping around the bush all day. You actually need a knee for that, right? So I had this kind of full-blown identity crisis, and I was really depressed. I'd always been incredibly active, and that was a big part of my identity, was being fit and being active and being athletic. And suddenly I couldn't do any of these things, and I had to get surgery. And I think the combination of the mental and emotional and trauma stuff I was going through from that injury and what it made my life and then also the actual surgery, getting systemic antibiotics and like the trauma of the knee surgery and everything that followed. 2 months after that knee surgery, I started having this crazy insomnia, and I couldn't sleep, and I was wired, and everyone was like, de-stress, like reduce stress, you're just stressed out. And I mean, I was not stressed at the time. I was unemployed, but not in a bad way. I was happily unemployed, and I didn't have any responsibilities, and it just felt physiological. It didn't feel like mental and emotional stress. And it went on for 6 months. And with that insomnia, I really just lost everything with my health. Like I started getting this extreme fatigue, and I was tired all the time, but then I couldn't sleep. And I had, 6 months where things kind of came back and I kind of felt normal, and then it just crashed again. Almost the same day to the previous year. And so I truly believe the surgery, the actual physical trauma of that surgery, and the emotional trauma that from the injury was a big trigger for me and kind of sent me down that path, even though I know there was a lot of causes, a lot of things leading up to the point, but that was definitely the thing that pushed me over the edge. And I know I'm rambling, but when I decided to start my business, I was in the depths of this chronic illness where I couldn't sleep. I had no energy. I had no exercise tolerance. So I couldn't exercise. I was just exhausted all the time. I had this really deep chronic fatigue, which I now believe was caused by toxicity, chemicals, lots of infections, that sort of thing. But when I started my business, I was in the depths of it. And it was really hard on my self-esteem to be a health coach who was technically sick and not healthy, and be trying to help other people and be this optimist for health. Even though what I had done, the gut healing I had done, the detox I had done had helped me, and I'd seen improvement, but I wasn't 100%. And it really weighed on my self-esteem and affected my confidence in being a health coach, because that sort of thing can generate a lot of imposter syndrome, where you're like, well, who am I to help people with their health when my health is not where it should be? And I get that, right? I totally get that. But it prevents a lot of you guys, and maybe you can relate, from moving forward, because you're like, well, I'll build my business, I'll be successful when I get to this point in my health, right? But and that's how I felt, because I was literally niching in fatigue, having fatigue. And even at this point, I still struggle with fatigue. I'm actually kind of tired today. Now, I've made significant progress. I feel like I've turned a corner with my health, where I will not go back to where I was before, unless I fall into all those other behaviors and unhealthy eating and partying and drinking and drugs like I was doing before, which I know at this point in my life is not going to happen. But so I'm not 100%, still. But I think my point is, what I'm trying to get at is, you are doing your community and your audience and people on this planet who truly need help a huge disservice by waiting to help them. Because being an expert in something and being a leader in something isn't about being here when they're here. It's not about standing on a pedestal above the people in your audience and speaking down to them. It's really about being on the same level and being just a few steps in front of them, because a true expert is really just a few steps in front of the person behind them, and they're just helping blaze the path. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't want you to let the fact that you are still struggling with your health hold you back from building your business and truly transforming people's lives, because you have a lot of knowledge, and you have seen improvement. Like, you believe in alternative health and wellness, or you would not be a health coach. Like, I know that you truly believe in this. And healing takes time. You know, we're living in a really fucked up world. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And so don't wait for yourself to be 100% before you help people, because people are missing out from what you can offer them, right? And people also want to know that you have struggled too, right? It is hard for people to relate to someone who is perfect and perfectly helpful. Like, they want to know you've been where they've been. And it's okay if you still kind of are where they are, because the point is, what matters, what makes you an expert, is clinically working with clients and helping them. And it has nothing to do with you. So this confidence thing, this is basically like your ego getting in the way of you helping people. And this is not me trying to shame you. I just really believe in health coaching, and I really believe in you and your ability to change this world, okay? Because I truly believe that if we are going to shift the collective consciousness of this planet and bring more love and peace and awareness into this world, people need to be healthy. Because people who are sick and feel like fucking shit and, you know, don't respect their bodies do not show up well in this world, do not show up in the way that we need people to show up in this world, do not do good things with their lives because they feel like shit. So, you know, when we help people get healthy, we empower them. We teach them respect for their body. We teach them respect for this earth by encouraging them to buy local and organic. And this is what I believe is really going to shift the power structures in this world and this consciousness. That's what I believe. So I really believe that the future of this planet is in the hands of you, the health coach. And so that's why I'm here to empower you so you can empower the people. So I just want to give you permission to help, to serve, to guide, to coach these people who need your help, even if you aren't where you need to be. Okay? Because even me, like, yes, I know how to help you build your business, but I still struggle in my business sometimes. I still get stuck. I still get unmotivated. I still get confused. I still do things that don't work. But it doesn't mean I can't teach business. It doesn't mean I can't show up and serve you, right? And if I was waiting to have the perfect business to serve you, I would be doing you a disservice, because it's not about me. It's about how I can help you. So the reason I shared this with you today is I just want you to know that I understand. I understand what it feels like to feel like you're not where you should be with your health, and that somehow means something about you, that you can't help people, because you can help people. What you offer and what you do in this world is one of the most important things in this world, in my opinion. And I know that sounds really big, but I do believe it to be true. And I want you to be the light in this world and to help the world heal. And I believe you have a central role in that. So I don't want you to hold back. And if you are struggling, it's okay. It took me a really long time to get to where I am now. To have clear skin and have energy. It was almost a decade. It was more than a decade in the making. And I'm still a work in progress, right? Like, I'm still working on my health. I'm still trying to have more energy, to have better tolerance to exercise. You know, I'm still working on myself, and that's okay. So I hope you found this helpful. I know this is a little bit different than the videos I usually do, but I would love to know your comments. If you relate to this video, if you can resonate, and yeah. Just, I want you to know that I believe in you, and I know you can help people even if you're not where you are at. And actually, the fact that you are still struggling makes you even more qualified to help those people. Okay? Oh, there's my kitty. All right, this is giving you an e-hug. I'm giving you a hug. I'll see you guys next Thursday for the next video. And guys, if you want to chat with me in private, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to help with you, to chat with you. Talk to you soon.